Welcome, brothers and sisters, to each and every one of you. I hope and pray that the Lord has been good to you. Unfortunately, I have to take a moment once again to address this situation with someone that I call friend and a brother. And I am doing so not because I have any animosity against Andrew Roman. As a matter of fact, Andrew Roman reached out to me. I was the very first one among Present Truth that started using and promoting Andy Roman's articles. And as a result of that, many that are even listening to this, that have been reading his article, did not even know who he was or what Advent Messenger was. As a result of that, he had received free advertisement. And Andy Roman has been trying to get credits for those things which he called his work. So the purpose of this video is not like the first video. In the first video, I made an appeal to Andy Roman to retract his relationship with YouTube, to go after me. In this video, I am appealing to God on behalf of Andy Roman, New Life Mission, and Advent Messenger. In this video, I would like to address some of the reasons behind Andy Roman's attack on AmazingWord Ministries by partnering, uniting with YouTube to go after AmazingWord Ministries. And part of the reasons has to do with jealousy, racism, backbiters. We are seeing a Judas 2.0 once again. And that is one of the reasons why this needs to be talked about, because Andy Roman claims to be a Present Truth. His website described that, and he exposes a lot of what the conference is doing. And so therefore, he rocks like a dog, he acts like a dog, and he even speaks like a dog. But remember, we are told in Acts chapter 20 that the greatest problem of the church will not be those on the outside that are very obvious, are those from within, and not conference, but within the Present Truth group that the conference has placed within those groups to divide. But just like the Jesuits, they have sworn an oath to even preach from Protestant pulpits and denying the Pope of Rome, while on the inside it's all for profit and they are destroying the church from within. And as you can see on the screen here, this picture of Andy Roman with Elder Ted Wilson. Now this was not a Photoshop, this is a real picture. Well, I put that background with it, but as you're going to see a moment ago, this is a real picture of Andy Roman, where Andy Roman has been so prideful to describe his relationship with Ted Wilson. And the arrow you see pointing there, we're going to discuss that a little bit. And we're going to see that this is not a wolf from the Jesuit, but this is an insider from the conference. Brothers and sisters, I have had many people from the conference infiltrated AmazingWord Ministries over the past years, trying to destroy AmazingWord Ministries from within. I don't talk so much about those things because God is in control. And as I mentioned before, Andy Roman, I consider him as a friend. He reached out to me. He wanted to make videos with me. He had offered his help to do some projects like the Billboard project and a few other things. But all along, he was doing so to promote himself and his ministry. And some of you may have seen and watched the video that first video I did with him, where he did not appear on camera because, according to him, he never liked the idea and never want to be on camera, just audio. But that was just an excuse to promote himself, using AmazingWord Ministries to promote himself. And then all of a sudden now he is on cameras. Coincidence? I don't believe so. We have had individuals that have done the same thing. And that is one of the reasons why this has to be addressed. Now, as Seventh-day Adventists, we have a huge problem among us. And this is something that Ellen White called backbiters. And the Bible described that as well, backbiters. We have a huge problem. The majority of Seventh-day Adventists love gossips more than the facts, more than the truth. The majority of Seventh-day Adventists do not care to go by Matthew 18, to go to your brother and to settle the differences. They don't like that. Because if they feel like their rights have been violated, if they feel like you are a sinner, no, they just go right to judgment. Forget about Matthew 18. Forget about that. As a Seventh-day Adventist, our problem is great. We have the greatest light, yet we have the most gossipers among us. Christianity is the most divided religion in the world. Seventh-day Adventist is the most divided denomination in the world. And why? Because we have the most gossipers within Seventh-day Adventists. We have, of all denominations, we have the worst gossipers. Let me give you an example of this. By what I mean that Seventh-day Adventists do not want to hear the facts. Listen to this comment here by this person, by the way, by the name of Zoe Angel. This person says, whether if it's a he or she, I'm not sure. Mr. Emmanuel, I am sure by now you know that Brother Andy has posted what has transpired between you and his organization, and it is unbelievable that I did not state that I refuse to pay for the billboard monthly fee, that Mr. Andy got a big decrease in costs for you, resulting in the billboard company coming after Mr. Andy or you non-payment. You have brought shame and embarrassment on Present Truth ministers, and brother, I pray, I guess he meant to say brother, you take an inward look at yourself, because you can fool men but not God. May God have mercy on you. So this is what caught my attention, one of those comments there that I received under this video. I didn't know that Andy Roman had published another article until I read this. But this person is not interested in fact. This person is more interested in gossiping. This person is not interested in, brother, is that so? No, this person is not interested in that. They are more interested in crucifying another brother. That's what this is about. It's not about restoration. It's about the crucifixion of another brother. But we are going to be looking at some facts to help us to understand this situation. We want to look at what is really going on. Is that true? Did I not pay for the billboard? Is Brother Andy Roman right, as it says that I did not pay for anything and he got a discount, as the person claimed here? We want to look at one more time what is truth, and so that everybody can understand and get a better idea of what is really going on. Because our goal here is not to, as we mentioned from the very beginning, is not to be at war with Brother Andy. That's not our goal. If you watch our first video, we try to reach out with Brother Andy to try to settle this matter. So in light of what this person says here, let's try to see if we can make some sense of what is really taking place. As I mentioned, Seventh-day Adventists are more interested in gossiping than the facts. Listen to what Spirit of Prophecy tells us here from Signs of the Times, March 1st, 1905. Gossip reveals a lack of true culture and refinement, and of true goodness of heart. Gossip, unfits one both for the society of the truly cultured and refined in this world, and for association with the holy ones of heaven. So this is very serious. Gossip, backbiting, reveals a lack of true culture and refinement, and also of true goodness of heart. It unfits, it says, one for both the society of the truly cultured and refined in this world, and for the association with the holy ones of heaven. Brothers and sisters, this is very serious because gossip begins with Satan. In spite of the fact that Satan was guilty of everything, Jesus would not dare accuse him of anything. God allowed things to play out so that by that his name could be justified without him forcing anything or accusing Satan of anything. We are seeing, as we were told, a repeat of Judas 2.0. What happened to Christ 2,000 years ago, we will experience in these last days. Our own brethren will betray us indeed. Listen to what John tells us here in chapter 18. Pilate answered, "Am I a Jew? Thine own nation and the chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done?" Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence." So Jesus says, I am not going to fight because my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, would my servant fight? Jesus did not appeal to Caesar for the mistreatment that he was receiving from the Jews. Keep that point in mind. Jesus says, my kingdom is not of this world, so therefore I am not going to fight him. But for Andrew Roman to say that he appealed to YouTube to take our videos down because he felt like I was not giving him credits for his quote-unquote works, when, as you can find on his website, what he calls his works are a bunch of articles that, as I've been doing, that he quoted from. That's what he called his work, and he quoted the Spirit of Prophecy, and he quoted the Bible. That's what he called his work, and according to him, they have been copyrighted. Well, Jesus says, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, would my servant fight? Should we be fighting for our right? Jesus said, I'm not going to fight for my right because my kingdom is not of this world. Do unto me what you want to do. Why did this brother do this? Because he's fighting for his right. Because this world is his kingdom and he wants to establish his ministry here, his kingdom here, so he fights for his right. But that's not what I'm trying to do, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to help you, to educate you, to see that we have a big problem among us here, among present truth. And this has a lot to do with racism. And I'll get to that in a moment. Let me not get ahead of myself. So as I mentioned in the first video, my point was to reach out to Advent Messenger to settle this. And as I mentioned, I reached out to Brother Andy on several occasions, tried to settle this, but no answer. No reply, nothing. And then instead of replying, he published another article against AmazingWord Ministries, accusing us of plagiarism, as we've covered this already. And he even tried to brainwash Seventh-day Adventists because I have entered into a contract with YouTube, so therefore that was his excuse for reaching out to YouTube without even telling me anything. Then I published another video, as some of you have watched, dealing with the same thing, responding to his article. Whereas what he has accused me of plagiarism, which is exactly what he has done. And as I've covered before, I have this flyer here where Andrew Roman, New Life Mission, Advent Messenger, there are all of them. By the way, Andy Roman is just an employee for New Life Mission. He's just under them, working for them. And who are those people? I don't even know them. Those are the same people that have divided Pastor Perez church and to promote themselves. The same people. They've been doing this for a long time now because it is a business. In this, again, flyer, where Amazing Word Ministry put some meetings together, New Life Mission came and tried to take all the credits for it, while they did not pay for anything. I did not even know who those people are. So instead of Andrew Roman humble himself and try to solve this with peace, he went now and published this article, which says, the great shame that Emmanuel Nougaisse, can't even spell my name right, from Amazing Word Ministries has brought to Adventism and to advertising companies. Now, this is advertising from Andy Roman. In this advertisement, Andy Roman claimed that they are putting this meeting together. And let me bring this to the screen again so you can see it better. This is New Life Mission, Andy Roman, advertisement of some meetings that I, by God's grace, Amazing Word Ministries have put together. But as we quoted this before, they took full credit for it. If I were to put this so blatantly, this was a flat out lie. False advertisement. Because they said New Life Mission will be having an all-day event in Dallas, Texas. New Life Mission was not having an all-day event. It was a flat-out lie, brothers and sisters. That was on May 1st, as I stated. Again, I have proof of it and receipts of everything. Andy Roman and New Life Mission, Advent Messenger, did not have an all-day event. But that's what they sent out to thousands of people. That's what they sent out to thousands of people. And when I confronted him about that to his face, I confronted him about that. He did that publicly, but I did not do it publicly. I did it face to face. I went to him, as Matthew 18 says. I said, brother, this is what some people in Texas receive in the mail, saying that Advent Messenger is putting this meeting together, an all-day event, when it is Amazing Word Ministries that have paid for everything, that have put the meetings together. Why does it say here that it is you putting it together, and then not only you, but you have scheduled your own people there, which those people that he scheduled there are his boss from New Life Mission. He scheduled his boss to take over the meetings. And then it goes on to say here that we will have a table filled with free items that our ministry offers. A free vegan lunch will be served. Come for a day of sweet spiritual fellowship. We will like to meet all of you in person. Rodney and Patty Henrich, who are his boss. So he's trying to promoting his boss, giving them credit for something that I did not get them involved in. I was just dealing with Andy Roman. The only thing, keep in mind, Andy Roman volunteered himself to help me put those meetings together. The only thing he did, he helped me find the venue. That's all he did. Then he sent out this flyer to their followers and others to come out to this meeting that they're putting together. Now, let me share the story with you to understand the racism, to understand the selfishness, the backbiters. The story is this. After I reached out to him, he did it publicly, but I reached out to him privately. I tried to explain and reason to him. I said, brother, this is false advertisement that you guys have put together. You're not putting this meeting together. It's not you doing this. How can you take credit for everything? You said you having an all-day meeting. That's false advertisement. That's plagiarism. Did I sue him for this? Did I go to YouTube? Did I go to the court about this? No, I did not do that. But yet, that's what he just did. False advertisement. Let me explain, brothers and sisters. When I reached out to him, he tried to make excuses. Well, he said, I did help you to find the venue. Well, does that mean just because you helped me to find the venue that you have to take all the credit for it and publish a lie to people? Here's what happened. This was April 30th, Friday, April 30th. The meetings were on May 1st, Sabbath, May 1st. So when I called him and I saw that he was making excuses, he said, he accused his boss. He said, no, it's his boss who did it. He didn't do it. He wasn't there. He didn't put the flyers together. I was confused. Now he's accusing his boss. So his boss now was the one who took the initiative and put the flyers together. So I said, okay, I'd like to talk to your boss. So he said, okay. So I talked to Patty. I said, sister, I don't understand what's happening here. You're not putting this meeting together. Amazing Word Ministries, it was me who talked to Andy long ago about doing some meetings when I come back from Australia in Texas. And Andy Roman wanted to help me out with this. Now you taking full credit. She was confused because now she realized that Andy was lying. Because Andy said it was her. He wasn't there when the whole thing, the flyer was sent out. He said he wasn't there when it was sent out. So now I was confused. Because Andy blamed her. She blamed Andy. They were all confused. And then I said, okay, I don't know what's going on. Let me go back and talk to Andy. So I went to talk to Andy Roman. And then I said, brother, this is what's going to happen. Your boss is not going to speak at this event. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because that's false advertisement. So he did not like the fact that I was not going to let them speak. No, I said, no, they're not going to speak there. I said, you can come because I had invited you to speak. You can still come and speak, but not them. That's not going to happen. So Sabbath morning came. Now this conversation I had with him and his boss was on Friday afternoon. Sabbath morning came. And a lot of people, we had over 100 people there at the meetings. And a few of them heard about the meetings because of these flyers. So they showed up there thinking that New Life Mission is having some meetings there. But when they showed up, they saw Amazing Word Ministries. Just like behind me here, you see the Amazing Word Ministries logo there and everything. That's what they saw. They were confused. There was one sister who came because of this flyer. She didn't even know who I was. The sister was confused. The sister was asking, is Patty here? The sister was asking, is New Life Mission having this meeting? Am I at the wrong place? I said, sister, I could not go into too much detail because it was Sabbath. I said, sister, this is the meeting that was supposed to be taking place here. That's the meeting that we're having. But thank God, during the meeting, the sister was blessed and a few others who showed up. They were blessed to be there because God spoke to their hearts. It was confusion Andy Roman, New Life Mission created there. So why doing this? Well, brothers and sisters, it had everything racism. Because as he keep talking about those two black preachers, they want to be part of that too. What's going on? They see that Amazing Word Ministries has a bigger platform than them. So they want to be part of that. Why keep talking about two black preachers? Yes, I know I'm black. Why keep talking about it? I did not look at the color of your skin. I call you friend and a brother. Why going to YouTube? Why doing this? Why doing this? When you know for sure that you were lying, both you and your boss, why doing it? And then you're gonna go on publicly accusing me of taking money, accusing me of not paying for the billboard. We're going to address that in a moment. And you're gonna go publicly accusing me of lying, of plagiarism, when you've been doing this to promote yourself. What is the truth, brothers and sisters? Before you hear and accept gossiping, you need to understand the truth. Because what Andy Roman is doing is all about self, is all about promoting his ministry. As we read a moment ago, this should not be about us. Yet, he went out and published this. He did not expect that YouTube was going to send me an email with his name on it. And by the way, keep in mind, he was supposed to be taking a break. I'll get to that in a moment. Right here, after he published the first article responding to my first video, he accused me of plagiarism, and then he quickly published an article because he knew that people are going to contact him. And then all of a sudden he took a break, quote unquote break, out of office. And then he says, we'll be taking a break from adventmessenger.org for a while. Keep that in mind, for a while. Not sure when we'll be back. Blessings. Now, this was published March 25th, 2022. That was Friday, just 3 days ago, over 3 days ago. Remember, they said they were going to take a break for a while because they know that, well, I'm going to talk about this issue because people were coming. Meanwhile, he didn't really take a break. He was approving comments that people of those that are in agreement with him. That's what he was doing meanwhile. Yet, he took the time. I thought this was going to be a while that he was going to be out of office. He just published this one, which is March 27th, 2022. Wait, all of a sudden you're back? Because he's going and digging and trying to defend himself instead of doing the right thing. And as I've appealed to him for peace, to settle this for peace, and I even sent an email, text message to him. I said, brother, if you want to settle this, if your intention is to have peace, I'm all for peace. But if you are going to continue to have this, you don't bother contacting me, because my intention is not to have war with you. My intention is to have peace with you. But when self is in control, and when you are working for the General Conference undercover, well, you will do anything. That is what's going on. We have to settle this. We have to hear what the truth is in this matter. Racism is well and alive in Seventh-day Adventism. Let's continue here. Volume 4 of the Testimony, 486, paragraph 3. The long-suffering of Jehovah teaches ministers and church members who aspire to be collaborators with Christ unmistakable lessons of forbearance and love. Christ connected who? Judas and impulsive Peter with himself, not because Judas was covetous and Peter passionate, but that they might learn of Christ, their great teacher, and become like him, unselfish, meek, and lowly of heart. He saw good material in both these men. Judas possessed financial ability and would have been of value to the church had he taken home to his heart the lessons which Christ was giving by rebuking all selfishness, fraud, and avarice, even in the little matters of life. What was the lesson there? What's a lesson for me? What's a lesson for Andrew Roman, New Life Mission? What's the lesson? Is to learn from the mistake of Judas and even Peter here, as it mentioned here. Christ saw, as it says, good material in both these men. That means Christ was looking at the potential of those men, of what they might become. Yet, brothers and sisters, we have this brother with a knife behind his back while he is calling me friend. Keep in mind, I talked to him just about 3 weeks ago. And then yet, he went on YouTube and did this. And there was nothing wrong. One moment we were friends, and the next moment we were not even friends that he could even come to me, but he would go straight to YouTube and accuse me of XYZ. Then in his latest article, he mentioned about the billboard project, that I did not pay for the billboard project. What is the truth, brothers and sisters? What is the truth in that regard? Here is an email that I received that was sent to me, that I made sure that I have proof that everything was paid for to the billboard company. And you could see very clearly here the amount that was paid. We don't owe, Amazing Word Ministries don't owe the billboard company. Everything has been paid for. Now, if you look at the arrow at the top, the green arrow at the top, notice what it says there. It says New Life Mission, and then my name, and then my P.O. Box in Idaho. Now, what is the name of my ministry? That is Amazing Word Ministries. Why did the billboard company here send this email to me under New Life Mission? Think for a moment. The name of my company, of my ministry, is not New Life Mission. Why they put New Life Mission and then my P.O. Box? Why? It's because what Andy Roman did when he volunteered to help me with the billboard project. He put everything under New Life Mission so that New Life Mission can get credit for everything. When I realized that's what he did, I was in Australia at the time, and this was around the time I was recovering from my surgery. I just let it go. I saw I was being taken advantage of here, but I just let it go. As Jesus says, turn the other cheek. I just let it go. I didn't say anything. Meanwhile, Amazing Word Ministries, while he put everything under New Life Mission, getting tax exempt credit for all of them and everything. Meanwhile, Amazing Word Ministries financially is the one paying for everything. They did not pay for a penny. The accusation in his latest article that I did not pay for those things, what I tried to do when after he did what he did in Texas, so I just wasn't bothering with what was going on with the billboard anymore to see what he would do. Now keep in mind, every time there was a payment that needed to be made, they would send that information straight to New Life Mission, as if New Life Mission is the one paying for things. And then he, in turn, he would forward me what what the billboard company sent to him, because he was trying to take credit for everything, but financially, I am paying for everything at the same time, which is the same thing that he tried to do in Texas. Financially, I pay for everything, but then the meetings, as he said, they are the ones putting the meeting together when they did not pay for anything. And clearly you could see that this is another false advertisement where New Life Mission, I'm not under New Life Mission. Andy Roman is under New Life Mission, not me. And I paid for everything. We don't owe them anything. He mentioned in his latest article that he's going to do a part 2 to bring about more proof. And then one of what the billboard company said to him here was, I have attached the contract that you electronically signed. Andy Roman signed electronically because he was trying to take credit for everything. You should pay and have Mr. Emmanuel Nougaisse repay you. This is why we should not involve ourselves in other men's affairs without doing our own due diligence. So Andy Roman is promoting false advertisement, promoting his New Life Mission, and then making me pay for them financially. Financially, I'm supposed to back them up while they are getting all the credit. That's what's been happening. I've seen this happening. They are trying to take advantage of a black man. I've seen this, but I try not to say anything. I try not to go public with it, even though they have done it publicly. I try not to do that. Instead, I try to reach out. And then another thing he mentioned in his latest article, that I lie about them having a 501c3. No, Andy Roman lied. He said to me that let's put the reason why he put those things under New Life Mission is because they have a 501c3, some form of 501c3. But in his new article, he said they don't have something like that. Because he said, if the reason he gave me, if you put it under an organization that have a 501c3, you get discount. That's what he said. But now he's saying they don't have a 501c3. What is there to believe? Confusion? In other words, the reason why now he's so boldly, publicly going after Amazing Word Ministries and trying to get YouTube to censor Amazing Word Ministries is because he has used Amazing Word Ministries. Now that he's got the promotion, he's got more followers than he had, so he doesn't need me anymore. It hurts me to say things like that, but it has to be said. Now he has used me, he's been using others, and Enriquez and others to promote himself. He doesn't need me anymore. So now he can go and to YouTube to get YouTube to take my videos down. And if he could block me from the internet, he will do that. New Life Mission, as I stated, created a huge confusion in Texas. Now, let me share with you this here, speaking of the meetings that we had over there in Texas. Andy Roman sent me this attachment. This is for the Sonesta Select Dallas Central Expressway Hotel there, where we had the meetings. Notice how he's getting credit for everything here. He said to me, see the attachment PDF file. They are giving us complimentary free parking. Everyone else is charging for full day parking person. This is from Andy Roman. Now, if you look to the right, he forwarded me this email that came from the hotel where the meetings on May 1st was going to take place. And you could see from the email there, they had put everything under New Life Mission, as if New Life Mission is paying for everything. One more time, brothers and sisters. This is a business. I pay for it, but they get credit. Tax exempt status and and then they can file and show everything that how they pay for things. This is pure lying. It's right there. That's the proof there. Even the hotel that was the only thing that he helped me find, which was a venue, he gets credit for it. He put everything under New Life Mission. When no, Andy Roman volunteered to help Amazing Word Ministries to put those meetings together because he wanted to promote himself. While he is using Amazing Word financially, he is getting all the credit for everything. As I mentioned here, doing false advertisement, sending flyers to thousands of people that they are putting in all-day event meetings together when it is a complete fabrication, when it is a complete lie. It has to be talked about. Let me show you another plagiarism, what he's trying to do to Amazing Word Ministries. Now, in my website, Amazing Word Ministries website, and the Roman reached out to me on some things that he saw there. He wanted to help with the website and help correct on the website. So I gave him access to the website because, you know, he came out as a genuine guy, brother who wanted to help. So I gave him access to the website to help out with whatever he saw that could help improve the website. This was while I was in Australia. All of those things, most of them took place while I was in Australia. And then he changed things around. And then now this was supposed to be done as I give him access to the website and then give him full access to it and then give me and remove himself and then give Amazing Word Ministries back access. But if I try to delete his email, which is now as the primary email there, if I try to delete his email from my website, when I try to edit something, it gives me this message. This address is used for admin purposes. If you change this, we will send you an email at your new address to confirm it. The new address will not become active until confirmed. And you could see here, it has the Andy Roman 71 at yahoo.com address. In other words, he's blocking me from my own website from changing things. And they've been sending email messages to him to confirm that I want to change the email address. He refused to acknowledge that. You tell me, brothers and sisters, are we dealing with a conference insider? Are we dealing with a brother, or are we dealing with a businessman? Listen to what it says here. Signs of the Times, March 1st, 1905. We think with horror of the cannibal who feasts on the still warm and trembling flesh of his victim. But are the results of even this practice more terrible than are the agony and ruin caused by misrepresenting motive, blackening reputation, dissenting character, death and life are in the power of what? Of the tongue. In the scriptures, backbiters are classed with the haters of God, with inventors of evil things, with those who are without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity. It is the judgment of God that they which commit such things are worthy of death. He whom God accounts a citizen of Zion is he that speaketh the truth in his heart, that backbiteth not with his tongue, nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor. Brothers and sisters, we try to settle this in a Christ-like fashion. But Andy Roman made the excuse, as he says in this article here, that instead he appealed to Caesar to get Caesar to take Amazing Word Ministries down. He said because like Paul was mistreated. And so, quote unquote, I mistreated him by not giving him credit for his article. And so he justified that. He appealed to Caesar because I am in a contractual relationship or obligation with YouTube. Did Paul appeal to Caesar because he wanted to go on vacation? Paul appealed to Caesar because of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Amen. Remember, let me show you something here. Judas appealed to the Pharisees. For what reason? Because of envy, jealousy, because of money. He appealed to the Pharisees to deny Jesus Christ. Judas says, what will you give me if I deliver him unto you? The Pharisees in return appealed to Caesar to kill Jesus. So Judas appealed to the Pharisees appealed to Judas. Let's look at the context. But Paul appealed to Caesar so he can preach the gospel. But Judas appealed to the Pharisees because of envy, jealousies, and the Pharisees appealed to Caesar because they wanted to kill Jesus. What Andy Roman did by appealing to Caesar, as he quoted, it was to again take down the videos by stopping the spreading of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Paul appealed to Caesar to preach the gospel. Andy Roman appealed to Caesar to stop the gospel. That's the difference there. And again, this is somebody you call friend. A picture, brothers and sisters, is worth a whole lot more. As I mentioned, this is Andy Roman with Elder Wilson. Who is really Andy Roman is really working for? For the General Conference undercover. That's him at one of those General Conference events. Now, for some of you, you may not know what that means. To get access, to get a badge as Andy Roman has there, wearing and hugging, taking a selfie or picture, not a selfie, but a picture with Elder Wilson. It means you have to be loyal to the General Conference to have that such access. And here's another picture again at ASI General Conference events, and you can see him with the badge that he has there, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then another picture, you could see him there with another badge. Brothers and sisters, the General Conference will never allow me to come there and give me such a badge. To have such a badge there means that you have a booth, that the General Conference has approved you for a booth to have at ASI convention or at a GC session convention. The General Conference will not give me and a few others within self-supported ministries that privilege. No, unless they know you. Unless they know you. Unless you are one of them. They will not give you this. It's very political to get that kind of access at their events, at their convention. So my brothers and my sisters, what I'm trying to tell you, the same way Judas, who was one of the 12, present truth, appealed to the Pharisees, Andy Roman rather, is doing the same thing. Listen to what we read here. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests and said unto them, What will ye give me? And I will deliver him unto you. And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. And from that time, he sought opportunity to betray him. And the Roman has been seeking opportunity, using Amazing Word Ministries to promote himself, and then to come to this point, to this betrayal, to this backbiting. Brothers and sisters, I've been having a tough time even making this video, even speaking, as you could hear, because it's been heartening, sickening for me to even talk about this. I'm not trying to make anybody to feel bad for me, but for the past few days, it's been hard to comprehend what has happened here for the sake of gain and selfishness. I could have made a video last year, back in May, exposing what New Life Mission and Andy Roman have tried to do to Amazing Word Ministries publicly, because this was a public thing. They create a lot of confusion among many in Texas. A lot of confusion. And the confusion wasn't just those who received the flyers, but even those who were helping me putting the meetings together when they saw that flyer on Friday before Sabbath. And then especially those who came after receiving this flyer, and they thought that New Life Mission, Advent Messenger, was putting this meeting or those meetings together. It was a lot of confusion. Yet he's saying that I have brought a lot of shame against Seventh-day Adventists. Didn't you bring a lot of shame by appealing to YouTube to take down some videos? You have done worse things than the General Conference. You have done worse things than anyone that has ever gone after me over the past 12 years. He has done the worst of all of them. Because none of these other individuals, at least most of them, has gone as far as Andy Roman has gone. In spite of the fact that he was somebody that I call friend. He was somebody that I call a brother, that I still consider to be a brother and a friend. I pray for him that this self-ambition and this racism and trying to compete with those two black men, as he calls them, I pray that he will realize that the kingdom of heaven is not about this. The kingdom of heaven is not about who's first. How will he receive me in heaven if I were to, by God's grace, if he were to see me there? How will he receive me? If I call you, send you text messages, emails messages, and you despise all of that, you never responded, when 3 weeks ago I was talking to you on a friendly term, and then overnight you can change like that? Would you like to fellowship with me in heaven? I don't think so. Heaven will not be a place that you want to be if I was there. That's the attitude of Andy Roman. I pray for him. I pray that he will understand that there's a greater cause, bigger than ours, that it's time for consecration. Just like the disciples needed to learn that lesson. of consecration, dying to self, dying to sin. It's not about my ministry, your ministry. It's about Jesus Christ. It's about promoting the gospel of Jesus Christ. But he's been going after the gospel of Jesus Christ because he is not getting credit for it. Brothers and sisters, I rest my case. Once again, this is not about bitterness against Andy Roman. I tried to reach out to him. I gave him the opportunity to settle this privately, but he chose to appeal to Caesar. But I appeal to God on his behalf. May the Lord richly bless each one of you.